So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the New Balance protection pack in the Rain Cloud colorway. Can you tell any differences between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have another comparison video for you between two pairs of the New Balance protection pack in the Rain Cloud colorway. As you've probably seen on my channel, I've done this comparison before, but this is an updated batch of fakes, so it's just to show you the differences between the new batch and what to look for if you're trying to purchase a retail pair. So we'll take a look at the boxes first of all. So showing you from above, you can see the two boxes side by side. And as you can see, the retail box is actually a slightly darker gray than the fake box. I would say the fake box, the color is slightly off compared to the retail one. And if we spin the boxes to the side and take a closer look at the labels, you can see differences here once again. Obviously the retail one comes with the store sticker where that was purchased for £130. But if you take a look at the actual size label, you can see a difference between the retail and fake. The fake one has based this off the Chinese label compared to the retail one where it's purchased in the UK. So you can see there's a clear difference between the labels, and depending on where your pair was purchased from, just take a closer look at the label because this is the UK one, which is a retail one, and then obviously the fake one has based this on the wrong label. So nobody really wants me to talk about the boxes for the entire video. I want to take a closer look at the differences between the two shoes. So we'll open up the boxes and take a closer look. So open up the fake one first. Here you can see it has the paper with the New Balance symbol and the miniature New Balance logos on the side. And if we open up the retail one, this is actually quite an old pair. I've had it in storage for a while. So the paper is a little bit rough, but as you can see, it does have the New Balance symbol and the miniature symbols around the side. I would actually say the paper on the fake one is a little bit thicker, and you can hear that crunch compared to the retail one where almost kind of like it's a softer paper, and you can see it kind of crumples up a little bit more nice, but nobody really cares about the paper, so we'll take a look at the shoes. So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the New Balance protection pack in the Rain Cloud colorway. Can you tell any differences between these two? These are actually, from first glance, pretty close, and they've improved this batch a lot. So I'll now go into closer detail at some of the differences to look for between a retail pair and the fake pair. So the first difference, and probably the most noticeable difference, is the fake New Balance, they just can't get the shape right. So if I show you them side by side, you can see, and from the front, that the New Balance on the fake is much chunkier than it is on the retail one. This is a very slim shoe actually on feet, and it looks really nice. But the fake one, towards the heel and the padding around the edges, you can just see it just looks a little bit chunky compared to the retail one. And just the overall shape just looks a more chunky shoe compared to the retail pair. So as many of you know, this is a 2002R base model with the protection pack details over the top. But if you look at that 2002R symbol towards the back of the heel, if I compare them side by side from the retail and fake, you can see the difference here. So on the retail one, you can see that the 2002R is printed much larger and bolder compared to the fake one, where you can see the R symbol is much thinner, and the 2002 is actually much smaller on the fake pair compared to the retail one. In terms of color, I would say it's a darker cream on the fake one compared to the retail one, but that size difference is pretty clear to see. And these are both a UK 9, so the symbols and materials and everything like that should be exactly the same. Spinning the shoe around to the back, probably my least favorite part of the shoe is this kind of like yellow material coming through on the outer heel. If I compare these side by side from the retail to fake, you can see that the cutout is much larger on the fake compared to the retail, and you can also see there is a slight color difference between the two. But also this plastic material which is shown in this cutout area is very different from retail to fake, and the overall texture is much more shiny on the fake one compared to the retail one. So probably the most noticeable thing about the protection pack is the suede-like material in this almost ragged cut material all over the shoe. However, if I show you comparing them retail to fake, you can actually see a difference between the suede material. So from the inside of the shoe, if you take a look at this suede-like material, you can see it's much more messy and long and furry on the retail pair compared to the fake, which just gives it a more texturized look on the retail pair. So as you can see from the side on, it just looks a little bit slightly different color, but also the texture is very different from the suede materials from the retail to fake. I actually prefer the retail one because that messy look just gives it something different to look at. Whereas on the fake one, it just looks a little bit clean and tidy compared to the retail one, where that messy look to it just makes the shoe stand out and just a little bit different from anything else on foot. Just talking about that suede-like material, if we take a look at the toe box area, you can see the stitching going around the toe box is actually much more visible on the fake pair compared to the retail pair. This is because of that suede-like material being a lot more messy on the retail one compared to the fake one. On the fake one, because it's much cleaner, you can see that stitching much clearer on the fake pair. What I would say, although it might be quite hard to see, is the toe box area is made up of this mesh-like material. Although it's very breathable when on foot and these shoes are incredibly comfy, showing you from above, hopefully it shows up on the camera, there is actually a slight colour difference between the two. So just pay close attention to these materials because there is a slight colour difference between the two. Spinning the shoes upside down, as you can probably see, these are both dead stock pairs and there is actually a slight difference between the two on the bottom. So it is actually meant to have this kind of dirty painted look to the bottom of the shoe. However, I would say it's much bolder on the fake one compared to the retail one. Both of these have never been worn and you can see a clear colour difference. It's just the white paint on the fake one is slightly more strong compared to the retail one, where it's a little bit more subtle and kind of blends in with the sole. Also, if we spin them upside down, take a look at the middle of the tread, you will see it has this symbol here in a maroon burgundy like colour. And if I give you a close up of this, you can see there's a clear colour difference between the two. Here it says web stability on both pairs, and you can see that this is much darker on the retail pair compared to the fake one. On the fake one, you can see it's much lighter and almost smudged compared to the retail one, where it's clearly visible. Compared to the last batch that I reviewed, they've actually improved the New Balance symbol on the side, and the stitching going around the edges is pretty much spot on between the two. There is no differences like there were on the previous batch that I reviewed, so they have improved that. So don't pay close attention to that because it looks like they've got that spot on. Spinning the shoe around to the back here, you can see a dark grey suede on the heel, which actually spins around underneath some of the other suede panels to the side. And if you compare these side by side from the retail to fake, you can actually see the suede-like material is very different here. And it's actually the opposite to the grey that I pointed out earlier. So here you can see that the fake one, the suede is much longer and is actually a lighter material compared to the retail one. On the retail one, the suede is much darker and is actually cut a lot shorter than it is on the fake one. On the fake one, you can see how furry it is compared to the retail one, where you can see these holes around the outer edge are much more clear compared to the fake one, where they blend in with this suede. Taking a look at the toe box area once again, you can see just that this tread curls up at the toe guard. You can see it has a New Balance N symbol towards the front. Here, if we compare these side by side, you can see a difference in the sizing of this N from retail to fake, and also the outer lining indent from retail to fake is very different, and you can see that the white paint marks that I talked about earlier show up much more clearly on the fake one compared to the retail one. Now, if we take out the paper from inside the shoe, the retail one comes with this absolute tiny little bit, which pretty much does absolutely no support whatsoever. And the fake one comes with a much larger and different color paper on the inside, which is actually a lot stiffer than the retail one. The retail one's very soft, and the fake one is a lot stiffer as a paper. It's almost like cardboard. Now we're going to take out insole from both pairs on the retail one and on the fake one. There really isn't too much to note on the top of the insole, apart from maybe the New Balance symbol towards the heel, where you can see it's slightly different color and a little bit different texture from retail to fake. And then spinning the insoles upside down, taking a look at the New Balance text on the underside, you can see the text is placed differently from retail to fake. On the retail one, you can see that the holes coming through the insole is placed between the N and the C, whereas on the fake one, you can see it's placed between the A and the N. So just pay close attention to these small details, because these insoles are exactly the same size and the holes should be in the same place. I hope this video has helped you if you are trying to authenticate your pair. The same differences occur on the left shoe as they do on the right shoe. That's just the reason why I'm not showing you. But I hope this video has helped you, and pay close attention because these have got a lot closer since the last batch that I did. But thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow and helps me do more videos just like this. And this shoe is gorgeous, probably my favorite one from the whole protection pack. So if you're trying to get an authentic one, pay close attention to some of the details in this video. But thanks for watching, hope you have an amazing day.